Ditch Classic. It's just Sam and Nick.
Just a quick reset, after all the mania that has been, all the insanity that will be, that is coming.
It's true. Yeah, no red filter this time. No aviator sunglasses. And if you don't know what I'm referencing,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You gotta check out our last episode.
News to me. It's all Greek to me.
Truly, check out that last episode, our last interview with the Allenson brothers of Y2K fame. It was very enjoyable myself. And speaking for Nick, I'd even say he enjoyed it a little bit himself.
It's like a waking dream. It's like living in a fantasy. That's how I imagine the isekai protagonist feels when they wake up in fairyland or something.
Exactly. And this episode we'll be discussing our recent trip to LA. Nick and I had a weekend in the City of Angels.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hobnobbing with the big dogs. Rubbing elbows with the top minds of the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. Gaming.
Yes. Yeah. Couple of industry babies now. We'll be talking about our experience at the Mix, at IGN Live. The feeling of Summer Games Fest, slipping through your fingers. And, there were also some announcements since then, and today there was a big Nintendo Direct. And so we'll be talking through some of the announcements from that as well.
That's right. A mix of old and new. Kind of crazy that something that happened barely a week ago at this point can be considered old, and yet here we are.
Mm-hmm. Still so fresh, but it also feels like it was 10 years ago.
Time just keeps marching on.
Yeah, which is nuts.
Press keeps getting released.
Exactly. So before we dive into our video game talk, you been watching anything still?
No.
Read anything?
Oh wait, you know what? Actually, this is gonna shock you. I saw the Fellowship of the Ring extended in the movie theater.
Oh,
after
wow.
going so long, spending so much of my life refusing to watch it and avoiding every possible instance where I might be inclined to watch it, I finally saw it.
Wow. Okay, before we get into the movie, why have you vehemently avoided watching these movies?
I just didn't think I would like it. I don't really like fantasy stuff, And people would always be like, "Oh, it's like the greatest movie ever." "Oh, you haven't seen Lord of the Rings?" And I'd be like, "No, I haven't."
You don't
and
like
I'm not
Western
going to.
fantasy.
I don't like Western media,
Mm-hmm. And you can't get much more Western than J.R.R. Tolkien.
It's true,
but
he, in a way, you could say he kind of colonized the fantasy genre. He's
he certainly planted
brazen book writing.
Yes,
really.
Yes.
Permanently affected all future fantasy writers the world over.
That's
like committing an original sin.
Yeah.
Imparting that knowledge.
Mm-hmm. I never really considered to think of it like that, but that is very, very funny.
Well, I'm just a geekhead. We tend to think a little more cerebrally. So we Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. So, this was your first time watching
Yeah, there was
Fellowship.
a dwarf. There was a guy, Strider, Boromir, I guess. I liked him. Seemed like more of a protagonist than the Hobbit.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way,
Boromir's one of my favorite characters in that
the party went on and on and on, man. I was just waiting for that to end.
In the beginning?
Yeah, because it's an extended cut. It's 3.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Holy!
It is an undertaking.
It made me, more than anything else, just to kind of cut it short, I have an even greater appreciation for the practical effects and dialogue that isn't horribly stilted and awkward to be funny.
Yeah, not super wooden. Yeah.
It's funny when Pippin cooks the bacon and they get fucked up by ring wraiths. It's a funny scene.
Yeah.
And they were able to do that without Pippin being like, looks like we got trouble, guys, or anything like that.
I burned my bacon.
It's a simpler time, but a better time,
Hey, I'm with you there, man.
The practical effects, great to see the dismemberments, arms, heads getting lopped off, really makes you remember that Peter Jackson made some really fucked up horror films before this.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, yeah.
But also, when you see it next to like the one really bad piece of CGI, where that random elf queen turns like into a green Slimer, and she gets like Mandela catalog eyeballs,
yeah.
makes you think, "Wow, it was looking a lot better when they were doing
that was
the practical
a crazy
effects."
effect back in the day.
And Bilbo too, and he turns into a ghoul for 1 second. He's like, "Give me the ring," you know. That looked good when they put a little bit of eyeshadow on him. He looks,
that scared me so much as a child.
It looks so scary.
It was so horrifying. I remember just like watching that scene, my heart starts pounding, just knowing what to expect.
I'm sure if you go on like Am I the idiot? And someone's going to be like, am I the idiot for being afraid of Bilbo Baggins? You'll find like 1 billion upvotes.
Yeah.
Have my gold surfer also being afraid like I was when I was a child. Anyways, that's my thoughts on Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. Right on. Do you think you'll get around to watching the other two? That's fair.
No. I mean, watching in the theater is one thing. It's also insanely loud. I definitely have tinnitus now. If it's in a theater, maybe.
Yeah.
If it's in the privacy of my home, I think I would rather watch perhaps Hunter x Hunter again for the 8th time. I think that would be my choice.
Yeah. Fellowship is my favorite of the trilogy, both like story-wise and just like as films. I really love the score of that movie.
Yeah, it doesn't last too long, The Fellowship.
No, it truly does not.
Disintegrates near immediately. And they let the guy with a
takes
severe ring addiction into the team to protect the world's greatest ring. Can't believe that fell apart.
He doesn't have a ring addiction.
Literally, the first thing that happens when he puts the ring on the table is fucking... What's his name?
Boromir?
Yeah, him. I thought Boromir was... Aragorn.
It's Aragorn.
Yeah, but Boromir's like... He's like drooling, dripping sweat. Trying to touch it.
Because what it represents, it's an opportunity for him to, save his people.
Yeah, but it's insane that they're like, yeah, you can come with us. Guy who just went crazy in front of the council of the most powerful mages and elves and wizards in the world. You seem like you won't do anything with the ring.
It's representing the alliance, the interests of men.
They already have that one guy. Yeah. The random guy or the King of Kings, the Jesus allegory. I assume that that's what he is since he's got long hair.
I don't really think of Aragorn
and he's
as a Jesus allegory.
Abstaining from love and lust and all that.
No. He's very human. And very, very kingly. He's not like a messiah figure.
Okay.
If anyone is like Jesus, it's
wasn't
Gandalf.
Sure if it was gonna go like the Matrix.
Yeah. No, God.
Aragorn's gonna be like the one.
Jesus Christ, no. Tolkien had more subtlety.
More restraint.
More restraint than that,
And then Bilbo came from the rafters, firing his wand. To and fro. A hole was blasted through wicked Gollum's chest.
Oh, man. And I'm assuming you've never, took the time to read them.
No.
I won't pretend that I have, because I tried to read Fellowship when I was, 14 or 15. And I couldn't get into it. And also wigged me out that Frodo was 30. I was like, what? He's so old. Which I guess, in relative time as a Hobbit.
In Hobbit years, he's a stem cell.
Yeah. I was like, man, I can't relate to this 30-year-old, manlet with hairy feet.
I know. Baby-faced. He just aged exceptionally well.
Mm-hmm. But I do love those movies. Did you ever play any of those PS2 games?
I played the Hobbit PS2 game that was based on
unfortunate.
The book.
That's unfortunate.
Where he's like a ginger.
Yeah. That's Bilbo even, yeah.
He was Bilbo, yeah. So that was my only real Lord of the Rings exposure until I saw The Desolation of Smaug one day in the theaters and said to myself, this movie sucks. Yeah. I hate this.
Was that was the second Hobbit movie?
That was the second movie.
Okay.
Did not see the first one.
The first one was just an unexpected journey.
The first one I think is Gandalf shows up and says, hey, you want to kill a dragon?
Mm-hmm. I can't believe, well-trodden ground at this point, but I can't believe that got stretched to fucking 3 movies. It should have just been 1.
Turns out it doesn't work out. Yeah, it turns out they're not very good.
Mm-hmm. And I don't remember why there was a falling out with Guillermo del Toro from that production, but he was originally going to be the one to adapt.
Probably because he was like, "Why do you want me to turn this into 3 movies?" And they were like, "You're asking too many questions, Del Toro."
I think they had him like sanitize it as well, or they were going to sanitize his vision, comparing what we see in the final product.
Right.
Which
He's
is
like,
a
I
shame.
need to see the Hobbit's feet. I need to see big hairs, big coarse hairs coming off him. I need to see him stomping around.
Mm-hmm. I need to see bugs and some sort of creature. Because Guillermo loves his creatures. Get to the mix. Our weekend in LA.
Yeah, let's get to the real stuff. All right, timestamp here. This is what you want to skip to if you're tired of all that fantasy crap. Timestamp here if you want the gaming.
Mm-hmm. So, last weekend, last Friday through Sunday, really, Nick and I traveled to Los Angeles. By separate means. Him by the air, me by the railway. Eventually meeting up in the streets of downtown Los Angeles.
Spirit Airlines is a great deal if you don't mind being, crushed into a 2x2 cube of meat and then unfolded once you get out. Very good prices.
Never ridden Spirit. I've been too afraid.
I haven't died yet.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Take a chance. That's the tagline. Take a chance.
Take a chance with Spirit.
Roll the dice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, short flight, short trip. Really, can't go wrong with a cheap ticket there.
Yeah. Let's cut to the chase here. The important thing is we're the big wigs now. Indies, we're done with you. Shit. We're talking to Ubisoft. We're talking to Nintendo. We're talking to Microsoft. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got the press badge.
We were out there.
Oh shit! I think I threw it away on accident, but we did. It's true. It was a truly incredible experience going to the Guerilla Collective, the Mix event, our first event as a gaming press.
Independent games media.
Yes, independent gaming media.
As we like to label ourselves, introduce ourselves as. Yes, at the Grammy Museum. It was quite fascinating. It was quite liberating.
It was awesome.
To receive that badge after they read your name from the list. Real VIP hours. And, it felt great ascending that ladder.
It's true. It really was something else.
But, yeah.
It's all downhill from here.
I'd never been to any sort of gaming event. No PAX for me before, so this is my first exposure to any like demo hall or setup like that.
Oh yeah, it's PAX is nothing like that. PAX, you have giant lines of people. The developer is already probably talking to someone else with like a press badge or a content creator badge, or they're hiding away trying to enjoy the convention themselves, or just hiding away not wanting to talk to anyone. Very, very possible they won't be there at all. But especially for larger booths where they have like big stands and things, you can buy plush E's and pins and things.
Yeah.
Good luck finding the developer there.
Okay.
So this is a abnormal circumstance where the whole point was to get us in contact with the developers and the producers, and that's exactly what we wanted. Actually,
exactly what we did, and
exactly what we want them all to be like forever. Just have all the developers in a room and just let us in and say hi.
It was very cool. Yes, we had the unique opportunity to demo games and speak with the developers and give them feedback and kind of talk their games at their tables. And yeah, big networking opportunity for Nick and I. Would love to go back again. And we even so many faces. Some familiar faces from the YouTubes and the gaming scene.
It's true. We were able to meet up with our old friends, old close personal friends made through the show. You may remember a certain Jab, 50 Yen, and BeatStar.
It's true. We met up with them, and they were even lovelier in person than they were, through a camera on a podcast. Who would have thought?
Yeah, believe it or not, a lot more warmth.
Yeah, I think I saw actual joy in their eyes. Yeah,
it was shocking.
Quite good. Yeah, and so what games we did check out? I have a list. I could either list those off, or do you want to You want to list
Like,
off
what's your
what you
favorite
got?
thing? Just right off your head. Let it slide right off your dome, as the kids
Mm-hmm.
say. What were your top 5 things out of all the games you played? What made you say, "Wow, I like that"?
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll start at the beginning. The first booth that we visited was Combo Devils.
Spent an insane amount of time there. I spent way too much time there.
You were really enjoying the game, which I think is
It was
a good
awesome.
sign for them. Yeah. From Punkzilla Studios.
Yeah, I believe so.
Is their name? And yeah, how would you describe that? It was like a platform fighter.
It was a platform fighter made by someone who actually understands platform fighters and isn't just seeing Smash and then saying, okay, well, I'll use these IPs, I guess, to make this kind of copycat licensed game and throw in a bunch of random shit and disregard any sort of actual competitive intrigue or attempt. It's, I believe that one of the developers is a former Project M development team member, which makes a lot of sense. A lot of the moves, when you hit them, it feels good. It's got a lot of Smash kind of animation references that you'll recognize if you're a Melee PM or Smash 4 Ultimate player. It's only got 3 characters for now, but they play radically differently. They've got things that you can recognize from archetypes and platform fighters, things that really make them their own character. The biggest thing for Combo Devils has to be the actual, combos. The fact that you can get sort of Street Fighter style combos. You can play kind of more of a grounded game if that's what you want to do. And you have a little meter, which you can do things that we in the fighting game community like to call supers, which is very satisfying. I hope I'll be able to land one day.
Using directional input for the supers as well.
That's right.
It's quite interesting to me.
For
really mixing those
real players.
2 styles, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
That was you did spend a lot of time at that booth.
I like how I asked you your 5 favorite things and I talked about this game for an hour.
No, it's okay. You're the one that put the time in. So you have the information, really.
But yeah, excellent stuff.
Let's see. What else did I like? I liked foul damage quite a bit.
Oh yeah, that was funny. That was a good platforming, like frustration.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a Bennett Foddy kind of thing. It had reasonable expectations for you. There was never like a moment where a random like rock would come in hurtling through the side and kill you instantly.
Yeah, it wasn't made to just outrage you.
Yes.
Yeah, foul damage from May Gardens and Red Nexus Games Inc. I got to play a demo of that. Quite enjoyable. It's like a puzzle platformer, side-scrolling, where your character is an egg. It has some sort of like sci-fi aesthetic to it. You look like you're in some sort of factory. But the main gimmick of it is that the egg has very particular physics on its, on every jump you make, I suppose, and any impact will shatter the egg unless you're falling from a very reasonable distance, or very small distance, really. It's not super reasonable. But,
if you jump straight up and down, you die instantly. It's very funny. Exactly. You put it in front of your friend with an anger problem and watch them break your computer.
I think it's the kind of game that like you quickly learn, like through the trial and error.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
It's very fair. It's more like a puzzle game than a platformer in that way.
Yeah, certainly. It felt, the levels for the demo, there were only like, I'd say it had 3 phases.
Yeah, it was a good set of screens.
There's the basic, tutorial screens where it feels like everything had to be done in a specific sequence. But then there were optional little collectibles to be had, which was enjoyable, and you had to get them, frankly. Like you can't leave this.
If you didn't get them, the guy behind you in line would like laugh at you, start pointing, and everyone would be staring at you and laughing.
Mm-hmm. So I quite enjoyed that one, and I am looking forward to that. It's straightforward in concept.
I think, you know what? I think I got a new term for this. How about puzzle platformer?
That's
pretty good, right?
Pretty good, yeah. What else did I enjoy from the mix? Chain Staff was cool.
Oh yeah, hand-drawn Contra style game. A lot of shooting, running and shooting. But
Bionic
most importantly,
Commando.
the titular chain staff. You could use it swing around like the Bionic Commando, but it actually works instead of being, an NES game.
Terribly slow.
Yeah. Super stiff. Yes. And much better, you can charge up with this chain staff, throw like a javelin for a nice freeze frame when you annihilate some disgusting freaks.
It is good.
Very satisfying.
Slow down, screen shake. It's a good impact. Yeah, for Mommy's Best Games, we got chain staff. Show them the stickers if you got them.
Yeah, check it out. This is only for press, so you guys are getting an exclusive look at the chain staff sticker blasts. Drink it in. It's as close as you're going to get.
Yes, kudos to the devs for actually being around and able to talk to us. For Combo Devils and this game, we were able to actually speak to the devs. There was only a PR guy, really, for Foul Damage, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, he seemed to have some idea. He knew the name of the game.
He was a nice enough gentleman. But yeah, we got to speak to the devs of Chain Staff. And Nick encouraged them to, keep the...
Make it harder.
Frankly, yeah. Not only keep the difficulty, but, make it harder. Because we saw, the mythical games journalism dexterity in play.
He was saying that a lot of people weren't able to get past the first boss, and he was getting some notes to maybe reduce the difficulty. And I think that would not be a good choice. I think it should stay the same, or just out of spite, make it harder. I think those are the two correct options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can wish list this on Steam now. I think the other two titles you can.
Yeah, we'll put links to all these below. We'll put links down there, and then we'll add all of them. And be like, hey, check out these guys. Oh, please don't retweet us. Oh my god, you guys are so crazy for that one.
Yeah. Please
don't follow us. Please don't like my handsome crow cosplay. Oh my god, you guys. So embarrassing.
It is. Please don't.
I'm so bashful.
Don't. Yeah. Speaking of bashful, like bashing skulls in, throw up that photo of you and the bat.
Oh yeah, I got my skull caved in by the developer of Fallen Aces. Great experience.
That was another highlight of mine.
Yeah, we spent way too long there also.
We did spend...
I think we were playing that for at least 40 minutes.
I didn't really... the levels just kept going on,
I know. It wasn't it didn't feel long in the tooth, but I felt bad that I was still there.
I don't think so. There weren't a lot of people lining up at that time in the night.
Well, I mean, that's their mistake, honestly.
Truly. And Fallen Aces Episode 1 just dropped, so check it out.
Yeah, if you like immersive sims or pulp comic, if you like the movie Dick Tracy or the game Deus Ex, you will like Fallen Aces.
Yes, I agree. I was pleasantly surprised at how open-ended the level design was, and how
I thought I was looking around. I thought I was being really smart. At the end of the level, 0 secrets out of 7. I was like, what the fuck?
I only got
Am I
2.
stupid?
I didn't think there'd be 7. But that was very fun. We got to chat with those devs a little bit as well.
Yeah, you get the deck of Fallen Aces playing cards?
I did get a deck of Fallen Aces playing cards.
Yeah.
So thanks guys, and congratulations on the release.
Yeah, great job, fellas. You made it.
Great job.
From us to you.
And thanks for buying everyone's drinks.
Yeah,
that was real
great.
Cool of them.
You had the option of getting regular beer or instantly kill you high alcohol old fashioned.
Yeah.
What a choice.
It certainly did something to my stomach. I won't lie. All right. Well, how many was that? That was 3.
Yeah, 2 more.
All right, Pinball Spire. That was
Pinball Spire.
Interesting idea.
Latest game come from indie.io.
Mm-hmm. Nick was the one behind the controls for this demo. So
yeah, very inventive thing. It's a pinball search action game where you play as a little pinball and you control the bumpers and rudders and what do they call it? The spring.
Mm-hmm.
You control the spring, shoot them out, get them through obstacles, acquire some power-ups to give you a little bit more agency over where you can go and what you can do. Regular search action stuff, but with a pinball twist.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was pretty decent from what I played. I'd like to play more of it. I'd like to play more of it. I'd like to see how the combat is, if any, and I want to see how the power-ups diversify, because I feel like if I put some more time and there was some more abilities and more ways to move the ball around, that
a
would
little more
really...
control. Yeah.
Yes, I know the whole point is that you can't control it,
Mm-hmm.
but the one thing I really wanted, I was telling Sam this as I was playing, was some sort of tilt option to just like move the game map.
That's true.
Like you're tilting an actual pinball machine. If that was added, if that's already in, great, wonderful. All I want.
Yeah, it was and a pleasant pixel art aesthetic. Yeah, I believe it's a solo dev.
That's right.
Production. So we love that.
That's what indie means. Indie means you're just one guy.
Yeah.
That's why we're not indie. We're corporate. Two guys. Nothing we can do about it.
Two guys. Yeah. It's the downside of this whole endeavor. Let's see. That was what, 4? All right. I'd say the next game that intrigued me from the floor was Reckless, I suppose.
Oh yeah.
Which
Skate,
was,
online skate, Fortnite.
Online skate, Fortnite / Roblox. Yeah.
World builder. Pitched. More like Forge, kind of. Because the way they were presenting it, like, oh yeah, you can just have levels where you do this insane skate jump with your turbo blast, then you fly 80 feet in the air. I always love that in games, where you can just ragdoll and go flying instantly. I think that's really what makes Oblivion so good.
Yeah, I love the physics of that game. With Reckless, spelt, how was that spelled? It was spelled in a clever way.
WREK less.
That's right. Yeah.
I love games.
And you remember.
Reckless, build more.
Yeah, it was cool. With the art style, it's somewhat cartoony, so I was expecting more arcade style controls, but then they had analog stick input, kind of similar to the Skate franchise, which I thought was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I was trying to play like Tony Hawk, completely embarrassed myself.
Right,
fucked up.
Oh, I just jumped off the board.
Couldn't grind, couldn't pump, as they call it.
I tried to. I was trying to remember the name of a trick when I was talking to the guy, and I definitely said the wrong one.
Oh, that's a manual, as you're doing a double 9-0, as the kids call it, as Auto Rocket Power calls it.
Exactly. Definitely one of those situations. But it looked interesting, and I love user generated content. I think it's a huge gamble, frankly, to just trust that your player base will.
They won't make giant penis maps.
No. I think if they made giant penis maps, that'd be fine, since it's as long as they're using it right. But
I think there's a day one map in Ultimate.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know. I feel like sometimes these games that rely on the players to generate content just can't sustain that, and that's the last thing I'd want for this project.
Right, you need consistent, competent level builders. Well, I'm hoping that they go for the approach that they were going with at the place, where they're going to showcase levels actually made by the developers and just kind of keep adding those, show you what you can do with the tools, dare you to break them, that kind of thing. It's
kind of like Medium Molecules Dreams, if you played that at all on the PS4.
I didn't.
And now PS5.
I keep seeing random videos like, this guy made a game in Dreams. That's right, the PS4 5 game. And it's like a random platformer or something, or like a full JRPG.
Yeah. It's wow, interesting.
Right. It's a game.
I played it at launch, and I think I played it a few months afterwards as well. At the time, there wasn't anything that amazed me. Everything was just a novelty. There was actually, now that I'm thinking about it, one of the cooler things I saw in Dreams was someone had demade Siren, and they had the sight jack
blood
mechanic.
curse.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
cool.
You
were able to do that same mechanic, which I thought was interesting. And the only prominent Dreams project I've seen lately is an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan game, which looks frankly better than any of the official stuff Nickelodeon has licensed out.
Yeah. I feel like the Dreams random projects always have a little more soul than like, look at Legend of Zelda, Unreal Engine 5, and it's like just a HD Link model in the middle of some random field.
Oversaturated, hyper blue.
People are like, Nintendo, this is what we want! It's like, what the fuck? I do not want this.
I hate that shit, dude.
This is disgusting.
God. Yeah. It's the same people that just, like, can make... They make these insane judgments just based on, like, a trailer they watch. It's like, this game would be so good. It's like, there's nothing is happening in this.
This is yeah, exactly. Like, this is a trailer for the TV show, man.
Yeah. It's awful. But, damn. Yeah, Dreams, pretty cool. And Reckless, also cool. So check that one out.
Reckless, if you make some maps where you can jump really high while you're getting chased down by perhaps Dr. Robotnik screaming Pingus, shooting out fireballs, I think that'd be a great start. I'll give you guys that one for free.
Yeah, some Sonic tracks would actually be very cool.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, and there were so many games at the mix. I think that was 4. Was that 4 or 5?
That was 5.
Okay. What do you got? Do you want to... Are
Let's
there
see.
any honorable mentions?
Yeah, the remake of the end of the greatest RPG in the world seems like a cool little ambitious meta game that we played for a little while. It's like a remake of this Chrono Trigger type game with these random mixed media moments that seem to be leading to some sort of little, what was it called? That web series? Not Petscop, but more like Marble Hornets or something. Like little messages like, don't trust him. And then you go back and it's like, what's wrong, Chrono? You look sick. Could go anywhere, but it's an interesting little thing. Interesting idea. Remaking the end of an RPG.
Mm-hmm. It was a clever little demo.
Fun little...
Yeah, I like the art style. Like, the aesthetic was surprisingly... I feel like competent for just being those two, and they were saying how they wanted to get it shipped out later this year, and they had only been working on it for 6 months.
I feel like they pretty accurately depicted the like 2D HD style, especially the one, not like the Enix one, but the one they used for that game, the game where there's like 8 protagonists and they don't connect at all.
Octopath?
That's like the whole Octopath. Yes, it has like that same sort of lighting feeling as Octopath to me.
Yeah.
Like strong burning lights lighting up 2D sprites.
Mm-hmm. Some post-processing on top of it. Yeah. It was quite pleasant. The devs were also a couple of...
Completely in character.
Yeah, I appreciated that.
Which is good. You should always have kayfabe. You should always have a character, I think, at these events.
Kayfabe is great.
You should try to be as close to Randy Savage as possible as an independent developer.
I'm having flashbacks to like what Andrew was saying. Like,
no, don't.
Lynch.
Yes.
You're not Yoko Taro.
He said don't put on the mask, but he never said anything about putting on the bandana and the sunglasses.
And the sunglasses, it's true.
Yeah. And if you're playing a character, it's not. It's different. It's different. I'm acting.
Yes, there were truly so many games to cover and to look at. And I feel like I really wish I had more time and more courage to put myself out there. But I'll be honest, I was a little overwhelmed by it all.
Yeah, it is overwhelming.
Wow, look at all this shit.
I saw Sam Link and I piddled myself right there in my seat. Mm-hmm. It was heart-stopping.
I made an Allen Lake in my shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it called? The Black Lake?
Oh, no, I don't
place
remember.
He gets trapped in. Whatever. Let's not dwell on it. I made a black lake. Diarrhea. Whatever. Hey, you think the AVGN wants to come on?
Oh, man. Yeah, and that was night one, right? And Nick ventured out to further mingle, in the hotel bar.
Had not slept all day. I thought I was going to die for sure. Thought it was going to be the end of me. When the clock struck 12, I thought that I was going to be taken away.
Every molecule
nut
in his
house.
body began to shake,
I could
vibrating
hear
with motion.
every single sound from every single thing in that room, and it was all like an attack on me.
Sounds awful. It sounds like the worst sensory overload.
Oh yeah. The next day I was fine.
It's true. We were fine all weekend, thankfully.
Turns out if you don't sleep for 24 hours, it's bad for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were.
And if you go even longer, it's even worse.
Yeah, you were riding high from the interview to the airport to the mix.
Yeah.
The media indie exchange.
Yeah. I was riding high those ACK fumes. They're keeping me going. All those in my tank.
Mm-hmm. Supping on gamer fuel and other such goodies.
5 hour energy.
5 hour energy, yeah. Yeah, and then day 2, Nick and I, well, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, we were all ready to go to Summer Games Fest. We went all the way to the YouTube Theater, and then I noticed on the tickets, 5 minutes away from the destination, that the Summer Games Fest was the previous day while I was at the IGN live event. I mixed the days up. So then we went to IGN Live, and we got to experience all of that. All
of the splendor.
After a little funny mishap.
It was fine in the end. Got to see the cool big YouTube
big empty building as they were secretly leading in Hideo Kojima saying, don't let anyone see you. Mm-hmm. This is a secret event.
We should have just gone in anyway and seen what was up.
No, I belong here.
Yeah, exactly. Confidence apparently gets you anywhere.
I'm a VIP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not just press. I'm a VIP. But we did end up at IGN Live. And it was their first ever IGN Live. At the... What is that
at the
venue?
Music Box or the Magic Box?
The Magic Box.
The Magic Box in LA.
With the big-ass chair.
It's called the Magic Box because it turns hydrated, normal, walking individuals into dehydrated zombies, giving themselves tinnitus on love sex.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were going to
move, desperate for water.
I thought you were going to say it turns water, it turns liquid into Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah, that too. I mean, but the thing is, the Mountain Dew wasn't even there. It was gone before we even arrived.
It's true. It's true.
Not that I would drink this stuff, of course. Please.
Yeah. It was rather amusing and entertaining diversion, I'd say. Upon entry, they had a flyer of Matan, whatever his name is, Jeff's best friend.
Matan Aban or whatever.
Yeah. And they're just like, do not let this individual in. And it was just an image of that. And I thought that was very
his mugshot.
Mm-hmm. Fortunately, no controversy. Nick did get to experience a bit more of it without me on that first day. Do you want to share any of your impressions there?
No memory, complete blur. I got off the plane, I wandered around LA for 3 hours waiting for IGN Live to open up, went to IGN Live, couldn't tell you a single thing about it. It was so loud, bursting my eardrums. I got 2 5-hour energies. At one point I told the 5-hour energy lady, I've been up for a long time. And she just kind of looked at me like, oh, that's nice. Like, why are you telling me this? And I was like, thanks for the 5-hour energy. And then I walked away and played Street Fighter 3 Second Impact.
That was cool. There were arcade cabinets. There were demo stations. No devs. There were some art installations, you could say, on the show floor. Even a stage, where they had all their
Overwatch
presentations.
Porsche.
Mm-hmm. That was also, I guess, Diva's mech.
I don't know.
That was that robot. I was like,
sure, why not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I did like the egg from Elden Ring, and
yes, the meat egg.
Mm-hmm. And
no also, Elden Ring DLC, but they had the meat egg.
Yeah, the DLC I think is out soon. I think it's out tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, which is
at the time of recording yesterday when this releases.
People will already be playing and enjoying.
Wow, just a little. Just goes to show, even the present can become the past in the blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, from the IGN Live experience.
It's a loud experience in a very small, enclosed, hot room. I personally told Mr. IGN himself, could you please add some water next year?
Mm-hmm.
And could you let me and Sam personally speak to the developers? And they said, I'll get back to you on that one.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I saw him do it.
That's
I think the
about the
highlight
extent.
for me was the fucking crank-powered little console. What was that?
Oh, yeah, the Playdate.
The Playdate. Quite a novelty.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. It had a game on it from Mr. Katamari. I forgot his
Mr.
name.
Katamari himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Entirely crank-operated game where you get to meet your girlfriend. She kicks you in the nutsack.
And she's just disappointed with you always, yeah.
Well, when you wake up, you're already late.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unwinnable. Maybe that's the
The
point.
whole narrative.
Yeah. And that was day 2. We also got to meet up with some lovely community members. This could be you in the future, listeners. If you're cool and you hop in the Discord, one
It's
day
true.
you might get the chance to rub shoulders with the big dog.
One day you could buy me, yours truly, a big old boba tea. And I won't even charge you for the privilege.
It was quite cool to meet people from the internet. I don't normally do that.
It was great. Yeah, me neither.
So kudos to you guys. You know who you are.
Yes, the people whose names we've already outright said.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sound off in the comments if I met you.
And then day 3 of our weekend in LA was actually spent just exploring LA.
Yeah, it turns out there's a big Japantown area there.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts on LA, Nick? How'd you feel about the big city?
I mean, I like the mix event. I like gaming, obviously, in general. The city itself was. I have no interest in the real city itself. I like Little Japan. I like Little Akihabara. If there's an event, I'll be there. If I'm trying to have a wonderful vacation, I'm looking up destinations somewhere else, probably.
Yeah. I'm with you there.
Perhaps Aspen.
Not to sound like a horrible out of towner, you know. I'm sure there's parts of LA and people in LA that are great, but it's really not for me.
Yes.
Unless there's video games there, then we'll be there.
If I can be inside, that's great. If I have to be outside, it's just not going to work out.
Yeah, I just got to pack lighter next time, you know. Hauling around that damn backpack in Los Angeles.
I know. I was thinking the
it's a
same
fool.
thing. But like maybe get a carry-on or something, you know, just to shove stuff in there. Take back little souvenirs.
Souvenirs for sure next time. And that was our weekend at in Los Angeles. Summer Games Fest adjacent. But not quite there. Maybe next year.
We'll be
catch
back.
you next year, Jeff. Yeah.
Speaking of how much we didn't like being in LA, we'll be back in LA probably in December
Oh yeah.
for the Game Awards. But we'll talk about that when that happens. We'll get there when we get there.
Exactly. I think actually on the last day that we were in LA, Xbox had their showcase.
Yeah.
And I know very, very little intrigued you. I think there was
believe it or not.
There's more Metaphor Refantasia.
That was the only thing.
I think that was the only thing.
That was the one thing that I was like, yeah, I like this. I already wanted to play this, and this makes me want to play it more. Looks more and more like Persona 3 with each passing moment to me.
A little bit. I do remember you mentioning or I guess we just both noticed the mix of action combat with the traditional turn-based stuff.
Yeah,
who knows how in-depth that'll be, but I do like the prospect of that.
It's really the Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei that I was hoping to get when I got Tokyo Mirage Sessions instead.
And that one, never played, but from what Nick says, I don't think I'm missing out on much.
It's you know, if you love Akihabara
and idols,
you love idols, idol culture, fashion.
Well, you know what? Maybe I got to give it a try.
With a nice JRPG wrapper.
You know, you're selling me on it now. Actually, that sounds quite cool.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's the coolest. I mean, I played it a long time.
Wait, was that Wii U or a Switch?
It was a Wii U game, but it got released for the Switch.
Okay, it's on Switch now.
Yeah,
okay.
it's it's all right, I guess. If you have 100 hours to waste for a story that you won't really remember anything about, then go on ahead and pick it up.
Yeah, I think I'll pass.
But
going back to the Xbox showcase, the only things I wanted to bring up were Perfect Dark, the reboot, or yeah, I guess it's a reboot, not really a remake, especially with what was shown. That has been, it's been like, not to be corny, dark. Its news on it has been so silent until this most recent reveal. And I thought it was quite all right.
It's whatever, yeah. It's they saw Sleeping Dogs and they saw Deus Ex and they said let's do that.
It does feel very like post Dishonored, sort of hybrid stealth action.
Yeah, I could very much see like quest markers and little earpiece, little gremlin be like, Joanna, go here. Get the dark mark on your map to unlock more dark zones.
I don't think it's going to be open world.
No, it'll be open stage.
Just like big
like big map
levels. Yeah, I guess
think.
like Deus Ex, that's fine. But as someone who's not super attached to the property, it looks fine. I don't think there was anything at the showcase shown that's like, I need to get an Xbox now.
Yeah. Really just Metaphor ReFantasio, and I think that's releasing on everything anyway, so I'm good.
You don't even want to talk about Fable a little bit?
You can go ahead.
Actually,
if you want.
The thing about Fable is I was a little disappointed.
Wow, really?
Just because I was recently at my parents' place and they have an Xbox console that has Fable 2 on it, so I was able to, hop into that and reminisce. I have like a yearly visit to Albion on that Fable 2 file whenever I log in because I bought property.
Yeah.
It's
Jump
just
scare yourself with a transforming house that becomes scary.
Classic. But it's just like the heart of that game is not going to be replicated. I'm not going to be able to like do a stupid little dance and then fart on someone.
Right.
Yeah. In this new game, I was thinking about that the whole time. I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, you can't eat crunchy chicks.
They're not going to be bold enough, and I think we've mentioned this before, but
you're not going to be you're going to have kids following you around saying that you're sitting there like a lemon.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine this game having that amount of freedom of expression as a player, or just like freedom of systems or breadth of systems. It looks super linear, which is kind of horrifying for Fable, honestly.
It seems like they're trying to focus more on the fractured fairy tale kind of angle for it.
Yeah, just these aesthetics and like I did like some of the stylings of the trailer, like as far as the aesthetics of the text and transitions went, but like that shouldn't be what I'm taking away from a Fable reboot trailer.
I thought it had really good editing.
I liked that title card, yeah. Like, what the fuck? I should be excited.
Oh man, what typeface did they use? Comic New looked amazing.
Yeah, right. I think with these showcase announcements, this is the most I sympathize or can see from your viewpoint of how you feel about the AAA, hyper realistic, like fidelity over soul.
He's starting to see
sort of thing, right? Like as much as impressive as this stuff is, we're at a point, in time where it's like it's not really. I'm not going to be impressed if the game surrounding these fucking visuals is not.
And so many resources are going towards trying to fill this unfillable hole of photorealism, hyper-realism, fantasy realism.
Yeah.
It's like, just take out a couple million polygons and take those hours into giving you a new dodge roll or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, do you think your player's gonna get horns in this game?
I'm sure.
Or they're just.
I'm sure you're
Right.
going to get horns. I think you're going to have like a storyline.
Will I be able to get
decision.
fat? Yeah.
I think you're going to have like a dialogue wheel, and you'll have to choose different preset dialogue with voice acting. And it's going to be like, "Oh, hero, how do you feel about my kitty?" And you can be like, "Oh, what a pretty little cat." Grow Halo, or you can be like, "I fucking hate this stupid pussy cat," and smash it with your heel. You instantly grow a horn.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be like that.
I don't know. I hope they're at least going that far, but the trailer just left me without hope.
Yeah, not even wanting more, wanting less.
Yeah. But just because a game isn't what I want doesn't mean it's going to be a bad game. It very well may be fine, but they're certainly trying to like ape The Witcher. It feels.
Yes.
With,
funny The Witcher.
Yeah, which I don't think I'm going to.
I think if they're doing that, they honestly should just go like full Austin Powers with it. Just no semblance of seriousness, just full on madcap nonsense. Just go like make it the Saints Row Witcher clone.
Mm-hmm. That'd be interesting. That would
I think that's
certainly
what
be
they should do.
And honestly, that's the best part of Fable. Like normally, I'm someone that enjoys a serious narrative in games, but Fable is one of those properties where I'm like, no, taking the piss out of this is the joy of this game.
Yeah, I don't even remember the narrative. I just remember you can be a total dickhead. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's the world is what makes it. Just the way it reacts to you and everything. It's not about being an hero,
right?
I fucking like
meaningless.
Yeah, personally. And I think that was really it. I could dunk on how much I dislike Indiana Jones.
Go ahead.
Not really.
You're not a huge Machine Games fan.
No, the thing is, I do like the Wolfenstein reboot, but I don't buy into Troy Baker's Indiana Jones, and I think that's one of those cases of like, well, I hate the leading man. So I'm just not gonna get into it.
Can't enjoy hearing him talk for 8 hours.
Yeah, people who don't like Uncharted, like for Nathan, I'm like, that's probably how you feel. You're like, this fucking asshole.
I can't stand. What's his name? Drake. This is a real name.
Nolan North.
Nolan North. I was thinking like Dolan Drake. It's two
Nolan.
letters. Two letters are the same.
Yeah. And that was the Xbox for me. I think there were certainly more, but I don't remember. But today's Nintendo Direct. Now there's some announcements.
Yeah. We're completely unbiased. Nick, I have not touched my Switch since the day I birthed my Steam Deck, so let's just get any thoughts of bias out of your head.
Mm-hmm. And
besides, the most important things for me personally were the games that are going to be multi-platform. So the big outstanding numbers were the Romancing Saga 2 remake. I've never played any of the Saga games, but they've always been something in my peripheral vision I've been wanting to try. That and the Saga Frontier remake that came out like 3 years ago that I still need to pick up. But it looks interesting, 1,000 years spanning narrative, playing as different dynasty leaders. Sounds cool to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never played any games of those.
Sounds like what people who play Crusader Kings try to convince you that game is like. But, with an actual point to it instead of just having disgusting, deformed children that you poison. There's the new game from Spike Chunsoft, which is essentially a RTS Danganronpa called the 100-Line Last Defense Academy. I mean, honestly, guy, you gotta get over the high school setting. Like, very, 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 very much so kind of got that, hey, remember Danganronpa feeling? I'm still, of course, gonna buy it probably day one and play through it nonstop. But, what if I wasn't infected with a Spike Chunsoft illness? Then I might have some qualms or concerns about this rehash.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Drag Quest seemed to have like some real time graphics there compared to Danganronpa,
Yeah, but it's the RTS angle. Not sure how that's going to work out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize.
Could go anyway.
Yeah. All right, sorry, interrupted you. Dragon Quest?
Yeah, Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3, finally 2D HD's coming out. Really only care about 3, but 1 and 2 remake could be good. 1 and 2 are a bit antiquated, you know.
To say the least.
They're the first of their kind, a console JRPG.
Yeah, they need to get what is that? Stranger of Paradise?
Stranger of Paradise?
Do that
I
for
agree.
Dragon Quest, yeah.
They should do that for Dragon Quest. Just make a whole game about the wizard or whatever. Make a whole game about... Oh, wait, no, they did make a whole game about the slime. And it's amazing. It's Rocket Slime. It's one of the best games you'll ever play. Yeah, do that again. Just make another Rocket Slime.
There you go.
So 2D HD Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 with a $200 collector's edition for some little acrylic standees that, you know what? Despite it all, I don't think I'll be getting that one. I think I'll just get the game.
Good for you.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah, that's a bit steep for me.
Yeah, too rich for my blood.
Yeah.
Mario Party Jamboree's just a game, you know, get it for when people come over, get it for, playing with the community with the 20-player mode. I can ideally beat everyone and make them feel bad while cackling, perhaps on a live stream. I'm sure that would be a fun experience for everyone involved.
For all involved, I think so.
And Ace Attorney Investigations, they're finally releasing the second Edgeworth game, which everyone who speaks Japanese claims is the best game in the Ace Attorney franchise. And since I never played it, sure, maybe. I'll find out pretty soon.
What's your favorite entry in the Ace Attorney series?
Trials and Tribulations. I like Godo's design. I like that he drinks coffee and throws it. And I like the whole thing with Phoenix's past being touched on.
Okay.
The turnabout with the ghost.
Nice. Well, I'm shocked you didn't mention Metroid Prime 4. I feel like that's the big announcement that everyone's going to be talking about today, I'd assume.
Or awkward. Never played a Metroid Prime game, actually.
At all?
No.
That's crazy to me. But I guess, are you a 2D Metroid fan? Because I don't think... Did you play Dread? I don't remember.
No, not really. I've never finished a 2D Metroid either. I really just like search action games. I really like the Castlevania series of search action games. Those are pretty good.
I love search action game instead of the...
I know. I'm trying to hammer it in.
I'm being respectful and I'm not saying it, yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of people say that Super Metroid is the greatest search action of all time. Sure. I'm not... I haven't played it. Probably not going to. But I'm sure it's real good. And I'm sure Metroid Prime is the best, FPS on the GameCube. No one's denying that. Mm-hmm. But I never did it.
Never got around to them, yeah. I won't pretend that I've played through them all, but I've certainly played bits of them. I always enjoyed how immersive it felt on the Wii when you're in your spaceship and you're actually clicking buttons. Blew my mind.
Oh, yeah, see, so it's an immersive sin. Okay, why didn't you say so?
Why did you say so? Nah. I just think that's so crazy at how casually Nintendo's just oh, by the way, it was at the end of the showcase, but it was also just
I know, they were really framing
a lesser company would have
I know, right out the gate,
get the hype train going.
Literally, yeah, pants flying off their damn waist.
There's a countdown timer to the trailer for Metroid Prime 4.
It's the same with the Zelda game, too, just in the middle of the direct. With no prelude. Yes. Just oh, by the way, new Oracle of game.
Yeah, and you play as Zelda.
Yes. What was Zelda doing when Link was trapped in the Oracle world? Also, seems kind of like an announcement that they're remaking the Oracle games with the Link's Awakening engine. Since that's the beginning of both Oracle games, is Link falling into parallel world. Yeah. So good all around, I guess. I'll try it out. I can't wait. Maybe they'll release all 4 as one game for $40. I think that'd be fair. A nice $40 game for these 3 Game Boy Color titles.
Not gonna happen.
No, it's going to be 70 a piece, I know. All 3 are going to be separate $70 games. But
maybe on the Switch too, you know. Yeah.
You get the Switch 2 upgrade. For only $20, you can get the Switch 2 upgrade. Runs at 60 FPS.
I think those were the big ones from the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah,
I mean, the Marvel collection was cool as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm doubtful how that's going to go, just because I'd like to play online. I'd like to play with people online. And the online for the Capcom Fighting Collection that had Third Strike and Alpha 2 and 3 and all that wasn't spectacular. I'm sure that if you play locally, it would be fine.
Yeah.
But no one wants to play Street Fighter with me anymore, so I can't do that.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Fair. And I think that's it. I feel like there's something just on the tip of my brain that I can't quite...
For the Nintendo thing?
From the Nintendo thing. Oh,
No,
that's what I wanted to shout out was the fucking Hello Kitty game for sheep.
Oh, yeah.
Coming to console.
Yeah.
Now we can all experience it.
It's big release.
Game of the year, yeah.
There it is. For everyone to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a game my sister would enjoy as well was the fucking Shire Animal Crossing.
Oh, the Hobbit Sims game, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It looks so oddly. It didn't look exactly like mine. It had like My Sims feeling, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The art, the way they move and talk and acted, just reminded me very much of My Sims.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I'm gonna get an up close and personal look at that game.
Yeah, enjoy that.
When it's in my house.
I've seen the first LOTR, so I'm knowledgeable on the subject.
You know the Shire at least, yes. Yeah,
I know I know that Merry and Pippin, those fuckers, you cannot leave them alone. They'll get a Gandalf stash.
That's right. Well, I think that's going to be it for the showcase news and any weekend reminiscence. What was your favorite part of the weekend in LA?
The mix event. It was amazing. I wish that was the whole weekend, honestly. I wish that was just a giant 3-day long event. I would keep going back to that rooftop bar every single day with the same exact games. There was so many things that, even with the time we had, we weren't able to talk to and try every single game.
We were there for like 5 hours.
We were there for like 5 hours.
And certainly next time I'd want to try to branch out more because, it was such a cool and unique experience. I'd love to actually be able to give like real feedback, about games. Since we play so many, I was like, well, finally, a place where people actually want to fucking hear this shit.
I hope they do it again, and I hope we get in again.
Certainly. And that was the showcases from onwards, culminating with this week's Nintendo Direct. Yeah,
I'll draw a big Nintendo symbol, and we'll be having our mouths open, screaming, so that people will click on it.
Yeah, some cool announcements out there. Hey, tell us in the comments what you're excited for this week.
Yeah, like and comment and subscribe, and comment our subscription with which game you liked liking the most.
That's right. And as always, we've been Video Ditch. You can find us at I'm at the Super Samicom on Twitter /X. You'll find me just retweeting whenever we have an episode, and you can find Nick at Somebody Stop Me.
Yes, I've taken to tweeting again. I'll post pictures of myself wearing a shirt with Killer 7 logo on it, which
there it is.
If you're into that, check that out.
And the podcast has a page on Twitter. We'll post all of our links in the links below.
Yes. Perhaps we'll even stream. When Streets of Rogue 2 comes out, I think we'll actually stream for once in our lives.
There you go. That is my most anticipated release of the summer. August 14th, Streets of Rogue 2 coming into early access on Steam.
Coming closer with every second.
Exactly. And other exciting news for the future is we got some future guests lined up. Let the people know, Nick, who's
we have a real docket. On. So first up, coming up, this next recording we will be having is with the editor Zwick, who listeners may recognize as editing every single podcast for just about every guest for the podcast we've had on the show. And, you know, a close personal friend of mine, despite his love for the ICP. So he'll be coming on very soon. Get your questions in for Zwick ASAP. And after Zwick, we will have on the developer of Parkside, which is a twisted little Half-Life looking immersive sim. We're going to have Banana Hardsoft on the show to talk about that. He's a wild and crazy New Zealander. So get all your questions about kiwis, the fruit, and the bird ready and posted.
That's right. And that's been Video Ditch for this week. So until next time, keep on gaming.